This focaccia might deserve a clickbait title, but I already know that some of you would get tired of seeing the word this yeast everywhere. And you're right. When overused, words lose their meaning and become boring and overdone. But I don't feel like I'm exaggerating by telling you that this is probably the quickest and easiest bread I've ever successfully baked in no time. Not to mention the big surprise I had when its amazingly fluffy crumb melted in my mouth. This focaccia is made with common ingredients. You can prepare it in a heartbeat. And it's just too good to leave any leftovers. You really don't have an excuse. Preheat the oven to 200 degrees Celsius and keep all the ingredients and tools you need close to you. We need to move quite swiftly, as it's all about heat and chemical reactions. Therefore, organizing the ingredients and tools in advance is essential. Dissolve 1 teaspoon of salt and half a teaspoon of baking soda separately. Deduct the small amount of water needed from the total amount, which is 140 grams. Remember to use lukewarm water. The dough for this focaccia is prepared in a heartbeat, and if added without dissolving beforehand, salt and baking soda will leave dark spots on its surface. But I'm going to talk about this later. Set the salt and baking soda aside to dissolve while you continue working with the other ingredients. Prepare the baking tray. I added some oil to mine, but as you can see, the baking tray is not reacting well to a limited amount of oil. Instead of allowing the oil to form a uniform coating, the non-stick material is repelling and causing the oil to shrink, leaving large areas of the bottom exposed to the dough, which would inevitably stick to it. Since this focaccia doesn't require much oil, I'm going to place parchment paper and then apply some oil on it. Time to make the dough. In a large bowl, add 160 grams of plain unsweetened yogurt. Keep in mind that the consistency of yogurt may vary depending on the amount of water content. Mine was a bit thick, and I needed to add some extra water, but I'm going to show you this later. Add all the remaining lukewarm water you previously prepared. 40-50 grams of extra virgin olive oil, and give it a quick stir to mix the ingredients. Add the dissolved salt and stir again until all the wet ingredients are well combined. Add 190 grams of rice flour, 65 grams of potato starch, and whisk to combine the dry ingredients with the wet ones. Add 1 teaspoon of cream of tartar and whisk to combine. As I mentioned earlier, the yogurt was a bit thick, resulting in a thick dough. So I added a bit more lukewarm water to compensate for the lack of hydration. Alternatively, you can add milk, depending on the type of crumb you want to achieve. Adding water will give you more air bubbles, while adding milk will enhance the fluffiness of the crumb. The right consistency to achieve is pretty runny. When lifted with the spatula, it should fall back into the bowl in soft, flowing chunks. Quickly add the previously dissolved baking soda. Give it a quick whisk, and without further delay, transfer the dough to the tray. Start gently spreading the batter to level it. This is the second version of focaccia that I rehydrated with milk. Since the dough is runny, a gentle shake of the tray often levels the batter by itself. You just need to smooth out small imperfections. Do this process quickly, because the cream of tartar and the baking soda will start reacting to the acidity of the yogurt. If you take too much time, you'll lose a lot of air bubbles. Quickly add your favorite toppings. Keep in mind that room temperature will allow the chemical reaction to continue, producing air bubbles. I tried cherry tomatoes, a mix of Mediterranean spices and herbs, and some extra virgin olive oil. But in my opinion, olives are the winners. This focaccia shines with bright, savory flavors. Bake it for 20-25 minutes. This is the first version that I tried without dissolving the salt and the baking soda. I have to say, it came out great. Amazingly airy, soft, and with a fluffy crumb literally to die for. The texture is incredible, making you want to eat it one bite after another. The focaccia rose quite a lot, leaving a depression around the tomatoes and giving the impression that we made dimples, but we actually didn't. On the other hand, I had this little inconvenience of dark spots on the surface that are particularly visible and unpleasant on the sides and edges. These spots didn't affect its flavor or consistency, but in baking, this aesthetic issue is considered an imperfection. An expert eye will notice it for sure and may point out that something wasn't done correctly. This is the second version baked with milk and previously dissolved salt and baking soda. It came out without a single dark spot, perfectly golden brown, and so nice to look at you could eat it with your eyes. The crumb might look tighter. I know that many of you prefer a lot of air bubbles, but don't be fooled by this. This focaccia is literally a cloud on your table, as soft as a feather and as crisp as an autumn leaf. It's not chewy, gritty or crumbly, it just melts in your mouth like butter. And I just couldn't get enough. You'll find all the instructions in the description box, and if you decide to make this focaccia, please let me know how it went. Your feedback is highly appreciated. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like and share. Check the channel from time to time, as I'll be baking other gluten-free breads in the future. Consider subscribing, and if you like my videos, hit the bell to receive notifications. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.